Hello, happy Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday, TGIF. I hope you are planning on doing something fun today, or at least fun this weekend. Maybe you're trying to wrap up everything for the end of the week and headed into the weekend. So I'm hoping that we have a really good day today. I did put mostly glitch-free on the thumbnail because as those of you who have been here recently, this is much improved as to what it was, but there is still some sort of problem, maybe once every stream. So mostly glitch-free. Hopefully my goal is today to not have too many tabs open, so that maybe that will help mitigate it some more. I don't know. So hopefully today will be glitch-free. But so I don't know. So I am planning to work on the project that I'm doing for camp for April. I really want to sort of I want to plan it out because I know that things should be more efficient that way. But I am just so much of a pantser in a lot of regards that I find myself sort of looking at my outline that I have set up, just sort of elements of Save the Cat beat sheets and Snowflake and that kind of stuff. And so I keep looking at it and I just get this deep anxiety about naming characters and making final decisions and that kind of stuff. Right at the outset is not my, it's not what I usually do, and I'm trying to just feel the experiment. But I'm having, I don't know. So it may be more of I may wind up just pantsing the draft. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, I'm still trying my best to kind of wrap my brain around plotting. So that's what I'll be doing today, is mainly focusing on that. I think I might get frustrated and be like, okay, I'm going to go write a blog post or something. But yeah, so there's that. So yes, so I assume that some of you are doing camp, and I assume that some of you are not. So it may just be that you're starting a new project or a new revision or something. As long as we are all being productive in some form or fashion in April, that's good. So are we really glitch-free? Thus far. So Kai says, hello. How are you? Hope you're doing well. And Sarah is here. Hello. Okay, I'm going to have to do something about the light, but I don't know what. So excuse the poor lighting because different room, we're not used to it, all that kind of stuff still. So I did have a lamp last time that I put over on the printer because that's how we do. So I might have to do that again. So CB says, hello, my dinner should be arriving in about 30 minutes. Ooh, pizza. Nice. CB says, I'm okay. I'm tired, but your spider story went down the drain at your writing group this afternoon. So are you going to sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider song and have it climb up again? I don't know why that I think spider going down the drain went straight back to the nursery rhyme. That's a blast install. I don't know if I have sung that with my nephews yet. That might be a thing to do this weekend. So thanks for that as well. So Becca says, hello. But yes, CB, I'm also sorry that the story went down the drain. I hope that you can rescue it and be like the Itsy Bitsy Spider. But yes. So Becca says hello and welcome. And I do have a card for today, but I'm going to run through the rest of the hellos, and then we can talk about today's card. So Vanya says, hello, how are you? Devin, howdy. Laura Nettles, hello. Are you on your lunch break? Are you sneaking in some words? Courtney, hi. We'll be spending the first sprint doing housework. Yes, I spent a good bit of yesterday doing laundry and stuff, so understand. Vanya says, last weekend of prep before camp. Yes, it is. You're reading through your half-finished project and taking notes on what to work on. Nice. Kai says, finally got out of my rut by fleshing out a couple of characters that you've had in your mind for a while now and finding a connection with something that you didn't even realize needed connecting. Nice. Congrats on making that connection. That always feels really nice when it clicks. And Laura says, I have decided to pants my camp horror novel. Good for you. Like, forget the planning. We're just going to pants it. So Hannah is here. Hello. Welcome. How are you? See, is it still called a secondhand embarrassment if it's over your own writing? If you think of your previous self who wrote the draft as like different you, like not the same you as now, then it could count as secondhand embarrassment, maybe. Laura says, thinking of adding journal entries to the book from the main character's perspective. Ooh, nice. I think one of my favorites of Tamara Pierce's is, I think it's technically an epistolary novel, because epistolaries are, if I'm having the right word, hopefully my brain is connected today. They are pieces of literature that are written in the form as if they were letters or diary entries. So they're like a book, a story that is told through a collection of other smaller pieces of writing, if that makes sense. So like Frankenstein starts and ends with the letters from the ship's captain home to his sister. Sister? Yes. And so the story of Frankenstein and the monster is told through the letters. And so, yeah, anyway. But one of my favorites is from Tamara Pierce is done that way. It's the Terrier series. Like early, like pseudo policeman detective type of thing, but it's done in sort of like a journal entry, because initially when she starts the journal, you learn through the journal pages that she was told she needed to learn how to give clear and concise reports, which meant that she was handed a diary and been like, practice. So CB says, I have to put my plan on the door of my wardrobe. Ooh, nice. Using sticky notes or just a giant sheet of paper? Pantsing can be very relaxing, especially during the prep period. Yeah. I hate plotting too. You do a very rough outline and call it a day. Yes. And I think at this point, my brain is just going like, no, I don't want to outline. Like not even the like rough. So I think that's why I'm struggling. So Vanya Jelly, was it the murder mystery house? Ooh, yes. Good question. Kate is here. Hello. Hello. You're trying to get everything you need to finish off of your list before camp because you only want to focus on 2 projects for camp. Only 2. But it makes sense that you want to get everything else done first. Yes. CB says, I am struggling with not going on to AO3 and reading Along Came a Family. Okay. Is this, why do you not want to read it? Is it because you don't want to find things that you feel like you will want to fix? Like you're just trying to let it exist out in the world? Charlie says, hey, welcome, Charlie. You just bought the deck today. Which deck? Oh, the Oracle deck. I was like, wait, what? Yes. Okay. Yay! It arrives on April 4th. Takes forever here in Canada, but you're so excited. Yes. I'm excited too. I think you'll have fun with it. So Megan says, hello. You did laundry earlier. Yes, laundry is a thing that needs to happen like pretty much always. Laura says, ordered a fictional book on cannibalism to read for research for your own horror novel. Nice. Megan says, I'm spring cleaning. Very productive. Kate, I've got a long to-do list for video edits. You're going to take the first sprint or two to knock those out. Excellent. Yes. I can't believe you remember that, but no, this is a fantasy project. So you're continuing on with your outline today. You're into Act 2, so you're making progress. Plotting is your lifeline. You're one of those who gets anxious if you don't have a plan. Yeah, and I think it's just my brain going, I should do all of these things, which means, of course, I don't want to do any of them. And so it's kind of like that, just shove it off to the side and deal with it later procrastination issue. So CB says, 3 sheets of A4 paper stuck up with the blue tack. Nice. That'll give you some room. Yeah. Don't want to change the Camp Nano project. Gotcha. Yes. Yes. In that case, ignore it. Continue to ignore it. Ooh, your Brandon Sanderson book just came in the mail. Yay! So now are you going to be doing reading sprints instead of writing sprints today? And Ellie Vera is here. Hello. Hello. Okay, so the card for the day is the ant spirit, the A-N-T. So they look like little fire ants, but the main message for today is time to collaborate. So this was kind of like, okay, how is this going to work for today? So the ant comes to visit when it's time to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as a part of a community or tribe. AuthorTube. So the spirit is here to remind you to build your dream. You need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership. Okay? So if you've been hesitating on sending something out to beta readers, maybe it's time to do that. If you've been contemplating starting an AuthorTube channel, maybe it's time to do that, or at least reaching out, that kind of stuff. So, and it's also just sort of like, it's a reminder that you're connected to everybody and everything around you. And so it's nice to be able to look, just take it, lift your head up from your current work and take a look around and sort of like see how the world is connected. So when I was trying to figure out how this like connected to my brain this morning, I remembered that last night I went to, let me share the screen. Okay, so this is Woodland Mist, the channel Woodland Mist. I think she just changed her name again. And let me put the link in the chat so you can go over and watch this on your own time, because I have a feeling several of you will want to watch this on your own time. So, oh, I forgot to share the sound. Hang on. Let me redo. Okay, share screen. Share the audio. Here we go. Okay, so make sure that you have your sound up to where you can hear it, because this is a sound that you would want to hear. So what I particularly wanted to show you was the intro. So she made this intro in Canva. So just me. Oops. Okay. So let me go back and play that again and just make it like the biggest thing I possibly can. So here we go. Do this again. I just want you to watch. She made this in Canva. How cool is that? Like, she made that in Canva. I was just like, holy cow. Like, I mean, the rest of the video is absolutely fascinating as well and fun to have her talk about it. She's working on her debut novel, and she's got most of her beta feedback and whatnot done. And so she did an intro and an outro, and she made them in Canva herself. So she talks a little bit about it. So she does have the paid version, but she inspired me so much that I went on Canva last night, and I created a little short. It doesn't have any sound because I haven't figured that part out, but let me show you the basic thing that I made. So I think I'm going to disappear for a second, I think is how this works. Okay, now how do I get it off? Okay, there we go. So I was just like, take a look around, take the inspiration for what you can, make sure that you are accepting and giving inspiration to add to the magic in the world, I guess. And so that was sort of like my connection to the ant this morning. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So yes, the skull floating in at the end, I was like, yes, that needs to be there. So yes. So again, I put her channel in the chat, and it's Woodland Mist is her channel name in case you want to look her up by that. But I was just like, holy cow, that's amazing. And so I spent probably an hour like on Canva just looking for different things and trying different things. Yes, exactly. Yeah, he needed to be there. So yeah, I was amazed at her skill, but I was just like, ooh, now I want to do stuff. So yes, it's very pretty. So I was just like, oh, so cool. So cool. So yay. Yeah, so I will eventually figure out how to add some sound to that, and that will hopefully be a part of my channel going forward. So yes. Okay, so I think I have chatted enough. So let's go ahead and move into a sprint. Do we want to go for a 15-minute warm-up, or do you want to go into a 20-minute? Slightly longer warm-up than we normally have, but not quite 25. So 15 or 20, what would you like to do? Because I'm feeling like I chatted quite a bit today, so maybe I should add a little bit to the time that we have. Let's see. CB says pizza is imminent. Kate says, I vote for a full 25 because you have a lot to get done. Megan says 20 works for you. And okay, so we have one vote for 25, one vote for 20. Anybody else want to weigh in? We'll just go ahead and do the full 20. Or the 20 from Devin. Devin. Okay, share screen. Share screen. 20 minutes. It does have some fairly low ambient noises. This is Laura Nettles. All right, so your reminders. 1, save your document, or at least make sure you're opening it. 2, make sure that you have something to drink by your side. 3, straighten your shoulders, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back, and do a posture check. And 4, if you need to stand up, walk around, take a break, get a snack, etc., do so. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Those are your reminders, and we can now get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! 20 minutes. Okay, oopsies. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So, how'd we do? I spent that first 20 minutes. I went back to the sort of like the Save the Cat beat sheet, and I think the Snowflake has it as well, where you start with the like one-line synopsis or summary of your entire story. And I know they say the goal is to like only use 15 words, but that's kind of an impossibility for me at the moment. I might be able to cut it down a little bit later. So I think I finally found 2 that I like, and they're essentially versions of the same sentence, but they are reversed as to who is who would be the sort of like the main character, because with romance you obviously have 2 main characters. You have the female lead and male lead, or if you're doing different genders you have at least 2 main characters. So of course if you're doing pan, then you run into like the problem of like how many characters do you have. But anyway, so for this first one I'm doing male and female. So this particular Chimera Moon series, you have the shapeshifters, who I'm calling the chimeras, and then you have the people who can wield elements. Those are the arcanists. And so but I don't really like want to pull too much of that into the sentences. So I initially started off with a young woman enlists the help of a dangerous shapeshifter to search for answers to her mysterious powers. And then I was like, but that's not really like, that's not the whole synopsis. That's like the beginning. So I was like, I don't want it to just be the like beginning of the story. Like the synopsis is supposed to cover like the whole shebang. So I essentially wound up with, so if I go with the female main character first, in order to control her powers, a young woman makes a deal with a dangerous shapeshifter only to find love and an unexpected conspiracy. So that's like, there's a little bit more detail in there, covers like the whole plot, find the love, uncover the next bit of the story arc, the overarching story arc. So, and then sort of like the reverse of that, if I have the male main character as the primary focus of the synopsis, in order to save his family, a shapeshifter enlists the aid of an insane woman only to find love and an unexpected conspiracy. So it's like the same structure, but just different viewpoints. So I'm pretty pleased with those as like rough drafts of a 1-sentence synopsis, and I can always come back and edit them. But that's the thing. But it took me 183 words to get those 2 sentences. So that's kind of like what I spent about 20 minutes doing. And I mean, technically, like, I think the Snowflake said, like, you should take an hour to make this singular sentence. And I can definitely see how, if you're going to, like, get your brain warmed up to all of that and then cut it down to 15 words, like, yes, that would take me a full hour. But I'm not going to cut it down to 15 words. I think right now the male-focused one is 24 words, and the female-focused one is 25 words. That's short enough for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So so I've done that. So now I can move on to, I think the next part of the Snowflake would be expanding that sentence to a paragraph. So like my main plot points, essentially, of like what are the things that happen in each act type of thing. I don't know, I have to go back and reread my notes about what the Snowflake thing does. So that's the next step, is creating a paragraph. So, okay. Let me go back to the chat and say hello. So Lucy is here. Hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. And I hope that the weather yesterday didn't do any damage to y'all's property. So we managed to escape without anything happening. So yeah, there was some rough weather in our area last night. It was definitely like 4 o'clock in the morning. There's a storm outside, which is good and bad, atmospheric, definitely. So Laura says, I just made my own new YouTube intro. Is it okay if I label myself as the creator of darkness? Yes. Laura Nettles, the creator of darkness. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because you do it in both your writing and your film. I love it. Yes, you are definitely the creator of darkness. I love it. And CB says, I'm having my dinner in the living room because my good Iron Man 3 bedding is on my bed and I don't want to risk getting it ruined. Definitely understand that. So enjoy the pizza. Alexis is here. Hello. How are you? Hope you're doing well. And anyone know a cure for dead legs? Work today, first day. So just like tired, exhausted legs, you are going to definitely want to do some stretches. A warm bath or warm compress might help. So yeah. Kate says, finished edits on one video and started the second. Yay! Excellent. So this is the like office slash craft room. So this is not my usual room. Because of the internet troubles, I switched rooms and computers because this is my normal baby child technology assistant partner in crime. And it has some issues with the internet at the moment. So Megan says, I got my office cleaned up a bit and it's a huge mess. Very nice. Yes, we should be cleaning all of that, but every time I move something, we just kind of, there's a new project and there's been some stuff that have been brought out because we're going to be doing some crafts with my nephews. So I'm just going to leave it as it is right now. Vanya says, I made an outline through the first third of the book and realized that you have a very persistent plot hole. Oh no. Oh no. You pulled some tarot cards to help figure out character motivations, and that was more helpful than you expected. Yes. Love it. You got yourself organized for the day. Yay. Currently registering yourself for a scientific conference. Nice. Is it going to be in person like later this year, or is it going to be virtual? Yes, not the same room. Yeah. Thanks, Devin. Hannah says 237 words in your rewrite, getting there slowly. Nice. But hey, it's progress. Yes. Thanks, Devin. Yep, different computer. Oh, good, good. I'm glad you like the premise. I'm hoping that it's clear enough that I can come back to it and just like meditate on it for a bit. So Courtney says, kitchen cleaned? Yay, time to read. Yes. You like the premise. Oh, good. It's definitely a great way to get a snapshot of what you're working on. I would think that would definitely help with the shaping of the story. Yeah, I think that's probably the purpose of doing it. And I don't know that I've ever actually like tried to do the full synopsis. Maybe I did with Gray, but I just kept rattling on about it, so I didn't make it as concise. So yeah. Okay, made it out okay. The wind was loud and there was a lot of it. Rain, so good. Good. Yay. Elizabeth says, hello, Easter break is finally here. Yay! Easter break. I'm trying to, well, yeah. So CB says, okay, I'm back. Nice. Easter is next week in here. That's what I was kind of, my brain was telling me. I was like, is it Easter yet? So, Allie, You wouldn't have switched rooms, but the bedding costs 35 euros or 35 pounds, not euros. That's the symbol for pounds. Okay. So yeah, you take the whole next week off. Nice. Unfortunately, the conference is going to be virtual. He would love it to be in person because it would be in Edinburgh. Ooh, Edinburgh. Nice. I want to go. Eventually. Eventually. Yes, having a whole week off next week will be fun. Hopefully the weather will cooperate and y'all can do something nice and fun, or you could just relax however you like, however you spend your time. Okay. Plus it being next week, like it's like beginning of April, beginning of camp, like you don't have to, but you can. Okay, so let's do another sprint. Let's find a 25-minute HK Darkwood. Okay. All right, I think I found this. Pulled it up. So share, Chrome tab. Okay. This one has I think a bell at the end. So I'll share the audio again. Okay. So I think we have this all set up now. Save the document, which I have not done yet. Make sure you drink something. Straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back and do a posture check. And 4, make sure that you can stand up and walk around if you need to. And we can go ahead and get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Excuse me. Okay. How'd we do? What did I do? Okay, 200 words that time, so slightly more. I'm still trying to figure out different things for. So I guess I'm doing slightly more of the snowflake at the moment. Snowflake outlining method, plotting method. So with the paragraph synopsis, you have the first sentence being the backdrop and story setup, then you have the 3 disasters, and then you have the ending. So I've got the backdrop and story setup sentence, although it may be slightly too complex at the moment, so I might have to clean that up a little bit. I've got the second disaster, and so now I'm having to go back and sort of rework what I want the sort of first disaster to be, which if you're going, so I say disaster because that's what what is his name? Randy, the guy who sort of like pioneered the snowflake method. So he has more of, it's more an alignment of like a standard like hero's journey. And so I'm constantly referring back to sort of like the romance beat sheet versus the snowflake and kind of trying to meld them. And so with the romance sort of beat sheet type of thing, so like the first disaster would be the equivalent of like the refusal or the rejection after the first bit of attraction. So like, why do the characters think they absolutely can't work together or refuse to work together, that kind of thing. And so that's the end of like Act 1, and then you move into Act 2 where there's like something has to like pull them together against their wishes. So like the disaster 1 would really be like what causes the sort of like rejection of the initial idea of a relationship between the characters. So I think I've got that. It could stand to do a little bit of editing. So I've got backdrop and story setting, disaster 1, disaster 2. So now I've got to do the disaster that is at the end of Act 2 leading into the final battle, and then the happy ever after sentence. Which I promise I won't just write and they lived happily ever after, because that would be cheating a little too much. So Alexis was talking about the new job, so congrats on the new job. And I can definitely bet that if you were giving park tours, you definitely would be walking, and it's like, especially after all of the a lot of us have been a little bit more sedentary than we wish to be, or kind of had planned to be after a year of being at home. So Hannah is here, our other Hannah. So welcome. How are you? Hope you're doing well. So you'll be running theme park rides. Ooh, mostly kiddie rides, but still fun. Yeah, absolutely. Brandon is here. Hello! You worked on the money system in one of your kingdoms, and your fantasy story turns out that it's the richest kingdom, but has 56% of the 56% of the population lives in poverty, and most of the money is owned by nobles. That sounds familiar. But yes, that is a recipe for some class conflict and warfare to go on in your story. So Megan says, I got some more of my office clean. So many papers to go through. How does it all accumulate so quickly? Seriously, yes. If you ever find the answer to that, let me know, because I also want to know the answer. I mean, I really know, but it's me just putting stuff down and going, I'll deal this later. I'll file this later. I'll throw it away later. I maybe need this like sometime in the next week. I'm a mess. So Vanya says, I got through the rest of my outline, and at least I didn't find any more plot holes. Yay! Congrats. That is awesome. Sarah did some more work on your character sheets. Excellent. Elizabeth says, about 100 words, researching how to write, how someone would say something like an arrest order or a judgment without it sounding silly. Yes. So like legalese, when you're not familiar with it, can be kind of like, is it really like what like cop shows do, or like what is the actual like verbiage that they use. I took a screenshot of something at some point because it was like listing off a whole list of crimes that somebody was being accused of, including being a traitor. T-R-A-I-T, that kind of traitor, rather than like exchanging goods traitor. And so I took a screenshot on my phone of it because I was like, oh, this is a really nice way to phrase it. I like the way that this is phrased. So yeah, I have definitely been exactly where you are. So Kai says, worked on making my physical story Bible neater. Nice. Very nice. CB says, I reread and started proofreadings of last year's Camp Nano July project. Nice. You also have no idea how papers accumulate, but you swear someone comes in and dumps them when you're not looking. Yes. You just finished video 2 for now. Excellent. Yay. So 1,213. Oh, so you're running it through the writing aid program. Gotcha. And all of the cop shows you've seen is in English, so you have no idea how to write it in Norwegian. Oh no. Do I still have it? Well, that doesn't mean like I would just be telling you in English. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? So I think you would want to throw in things like conspiracy to, whether it be murder or theft or regicide or something like that. So conspiracy to XYZ. What are some other things? Let me see if I saved the screenshot. Camera roll. I have no idea where it would be in here. Not there. Maybe here? Yes. Okay. So, so there's some presiding judges in whatever court. So they're giving a final verdict. So abusing power, so abusing authority, disclosing state secrets, cooperating with foreign entities to infringe on state land or like cross the borders, illegally engaging in, and then you could add any number of crimes. So illegally engaging in human experiments, collaborating with foreign institutes to, they keep using the word infringe, and I'm not sure that's quite the right word that would normally be used, but infringe on the integrity of the country. So they were therefore impeached, privileges were revoked, and sentenced to death. So I will sort of type those up, and maybe you can like Google Translate some of the terms. But hopefully that sounds kind of, so that was what I had saved because I was like, oh, this sounds a lot more efficient than what I was thinking. So yes, I will put these in the chat. So, and if y'all have other ways to sort of like say these things that is a different option or better, or some other crimes that y'all sort of like have used or thought was sounded nice, definitely put those in the chat, because I'm always looking for other things to sentence people to death too. So yes. Okay, so let me find another timer. Oops, it just started going. 25 minutes. Timer. Start. Music. Okay, we will use this one. Oh no! Add. Which you guys can't see. Share the screen. Skip the ad. Okay. So 25 minutes. This will be the third sprint. Okay. Words. So don't forget to save. Make sure that you are saving, drinking, whatever you're hydrating with, not necessarily just drinking. And make sure that you straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back, and do a posture check. And make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Okay, getting started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How we doing? That was, I think it was okay. I reworded some things. I have a better sentence for disaster 1, much better. I have a good, I think, sentence for disaster 3, and I'm now working on the ending. So, and then I was rereading some of the notes from the snowflake method, and they were the back blurb, so what goes on the back of your paperback book, should only cover the first 25% of the book because you don't want too many spoilers. So that includes the backdrop and storytelling and disaster 1, which would be at the end of Act 1. And so I can at least, I think, share with you those things. So maybe. So I don't know. Well, I still think I want to edit the backdrop and story sentence. So maybe I'll share it next time because I still feel like that needs a little bit of editing before I share it. So yeah, but I think I am pleased with it, and I think that it is helping me make some decisions about like major plot points and sort of like pulling the things out of like my huge mishmash of brainstorming to sort of like fit it in some sort of concrete connected line. So that feels nice, even though like I'm sure I have like a pathetic word count for today. Of course, I didn't even like really I don't know how much I got at that time, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But yeah, so because I don't know that I wrote. Maybe I did. Did I? Yes. Okay, so I at least have a start point number from where I had left off this document last night, so that is good. But I think it's only like 700 words. So it's a far cry from what I normally get during a stream, but I think they are very well thought out for the most part. For the most part. And I did, like, I wrote some optional sort of like, yeah, this kind of feels like it, but then like, no, not really. So I feel like it's a decent job, even though like, it's not the word count that I am used to. So, but it's better than nothing. So Courtney discovered that there's a pool in the apartment complex. So that revelation made your day, and I'm hoping that they don't have too many like Miss Rona restrictions. Like maybe, I'm not sure how they might limit the number of people that can go in, or they might like be on like a rotation or something. Maybe you could sign up for a day and like reserve it for yourself and your family. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work, but it's definitely something to check out for sure. And so Rosalind was super, super helpful as well, and was putting in some of the law phrasings and gave us some places to look at. So the Hague or the Hague will be sort of international law case precedent until they write some new ones for like spacefaring stuff. So that is awesome. So CB stopped looking at last year's July project, and partially because of the number of mistakes possibly, and partially because it's Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling stuff. So I did type in, and it sort of like cut off at weird places, but I typed in what I had kind of saved for my screen thing, screenshot, what you want to call it. You're watching Hercule Poirot, the greatest detective ever. Lisbeth says, thank you. Now to brew over this in the old mine box. Yes, indeed. After the episode at the Capitol in January, yes. YouTube has lots of law nerd channels that explain things like this. True. That is true. I had not spent a whole lot of time looking at those, but that is true. So that is definitely. He's your favorite detective too. You got to meet David. Is it Suchet once, and he was super sweet. Nice. You took notes for things to change in April, and then you came up with some good ideas. Yay! Laura made a taco salad. Yay! That does sound good, actually. Megan switched over to cleaning by your couch. You have a whole stack of books to go through. I feel you there. It's so hard to get rid of them, though. Kate says, I couldn't really write, so I worked on your playlist for What Grows. Hopefully you can finish that before you start posting this thing. Yes. Elizabeth says, 285 words, and this is the sentence I came up with. You are hereby sentenced to execution for conspiring with a known terrorist group and inflicting damage to this society and its inhabitants. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. Sarah continued working on characters. They take forever, it feels like. Charlie says, I recorded a video and half-edited a video about the stories we tell ourselves for Tuesday. Tonight, I will return to my outline on the stream. Yay! Charlie's Friday stream. It's going to be fun. CB reread a WWE fanfic project. Nice. Kate is heading out for a work meeting. Have fun if you can. Courtney says, it is open, but you did not think about the restrictions. It's a good point. You saw people out there, but it's small enough that we probably have to make reservations. But hey, you at least have a pool that you can look into. So, yes. I think most of the pools in my area are like public ones, and they've just been like I don't even know if they're full of water at the moment. So yeah, okay. Of course, my sister-in-law and brother have a pool, so there will be a pool. There will just be also 3 nephews to play with in the pool. So there you go. So yay. Okay, so I am not going to be streaming on Sunday because it's nephew number 3's birthday, and we're going to celebrate that. So I will be back on Monday, same time, 1 to 3. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then, so I will be back for like the tail end of March, and then the transition into camp. So yay. And I'm so glad that today was much better. So yay. All right. Thank you again for joining me. And Devin's playlist. Copy link. Okay, here is Devin's channel where you can find the playlists. So yay. All right, thank you very much again, and I wish you a wonderful and fantastic Friday, and hopefully you have something fun to do today. And I will see y'all later. All right.